今日はピストルの使い方を教えます。イントロロロ What's up world, my name is Charlatan and you're watching Valorant 101, the place where I spend hundreds of hours in custom games and practice mode so you don't have to. I'm a former professional CSGO and PUBG player, the guy that has over 20,000 hours of experience in FPS games, and today, this man, this legend, is going to teach you how to use pistols in Valorant. And also, I'll give you in-depth overview and guide of each sidearm in this beautiful game. Topics that we will cover in today's video are following. What are the pistols? How do they work? When should you use them? What is the best pistol for each situation? And when to buy them. So let's jump straight into the action. Well, we are back at this handy type of tutorial guides again. You get it. Handy. Okay, I'll stop. I'll stop. Now that is out of the way, let's start with the actual pistol or sidearm tutorial. In this video, I'm going to coach you and explain you in depth, step by step, everything that you need to know about pistols in Valorant. If you soak in every single information that I provide you right now, you will win more rounds, you will understand in-game economy better, and have less angry teammates and some more, much more furious enemies because you destroyed them. What are the pistols? What is the purpose of pistols? When do you use them? How do you use them? How do they work? Etc. So, what are the pistols? Pistols are basically the sidearms that you get at the beginning of every round. Every side, so both side, attacking and defending side, gets for free one pistol, and that is the classic pistol. Every other sidearm you need to buy for those credits, so they cost 200, 400, 500 and 800 credits. We use pistols in multiple rounds. The first round that we use pistols is the actual start round of the game. So the first round we have 800 credits and we are unable to buy other rifles and snipers, so we need to play with pistols and armor and abilities. The second round, or the second situation in which we buy pistols, is when we are forcing the rounds. When you are force buying, you want to buy pistols or SMGs or shotguns, armor, some abilities, and you go straight into the fight. Force buy round is basically when you lose a round and then you buy the second round after that. That is called the force buy round. And the third round in which we can buy the pistols actually is when we are going in the half buy round. Half buy is when you're saving money for the next round. So for an example, you lost 2 rounds in a row and you want to save a bit of money for the fourth round to have to buy, I don't know, maybe Phantom, Vandal and armor. But you have spared amount of money. Like for example, you can buy Sheriff and you buy Sheriff in that half buy round. So pistols are taking the secondary slot in your inventory. As you can see, we have knife, we have pistol, and at the first slot we have the main gun. In this case, it's Phantom. We use pistols in 2 types of in-game situations. When you're playing the game, we use them in 2 types of situations. So the first round, and those rounds that I explained right now, and the second situation when we use pistols is basically when we don't have ammo or bullets in our main gun. So for an example, you get in a fight with the enemy, you spray like madman. That's how you spray. That is the exact spray sound the weapons make. Well, you lose all the ammo. You're at 0, you need to reload. Instead of reloading, in the mid-fight, you can take your pistol and finish off the enemy. That is the second situation in which you use pistols. And there is the third optional situation when you have the sniper rifle. So for an example, you have sniper rifle, you have operator, and you peek an enemy. The enemy is peeking you from this corner here. And he's coming at you, and you BAM! But you miss the enemy. Since it takes so much time for operator to reload, to put another bullet in the barrel, you take out the pistol and try to kill the enemy or scare him away, or to, I don't know, to finish him off if you leg shot at him, etc. How do pistols work? Well, pistols work the same way as any other gun. They have their own slot and they are being bought for credits. They have the wall penetration, they have magazine capacity, they have damage, they have fire rate, but they don't have the secondary fire, which means there is nothing happens when you press right click with those sidearms. But with the classic sidearm, this sidearm has the right click button, which fires 3 bullets at the same time, but those bullets are extremely unprecise and the spread is huge. But we will get to that in a moment. Now, let's go over each sidearm step by step, one by one. So the first sidearm is the classic pistol. With this pistol, you start on both defending and attacking side. It's totally free. If you sell it, nothing happens. Basically, you can buy it again for free. I mean, you can get it for free. It's not buying if you get it for free. And this is your main pistol. It has 6.75 rounds per second, which means you can shoot 6.75 bullets in a second. It has 3-round burst fire at the right click. So when I press right click on my mouse, it fires 3 bullets. It works the same way as the Glock works in CSGO. Basically, you fire 3 bullets that are extremely inaccurate. You can kill targets at a close distance with this technique. So if someone is approaching you at a really close distance, for example, the enemy is coming this way, you can 3-shot him and try to kill him instantly. If the enemy is on a mid-range distance or a long-range distance, you just simply use the left click. One more thing that I need to note you and to tell you is that pistols are extremely accurate when you are moving. When you are moving with weapons, for example Phantom, it's extremely inaccurate and you cannot control the spray pattern. Pistols are more accurate than rifles when you are basically doing the semi-automatic fire. When you are trying to run and gun, when you are trying to move and shoot, basically you can do you can perform these kind of techniques with pistols, but with more ease than you can do it with rifles. For an example, if I was to run and gun with Phantom, it would look like this. As you can see, even when I full try hard, it's almost impossible. With Sheriff, you can see, it's not that bad, but it's not something that you should do at all times. So with pistols, you use the same way as you use any other rifle in this game. You perform the shooting techniques, the aiming techniques that I've taught you in this video. So go watch that one if you want to learn how to aim in this game. So basically, you want to strafe and shoot. You want to strafe and shoot. You want to be strafing at all times and try to shoot the enemy. This is the movement that you want to perform. So you move, stop, shoot, move, stop, shoot, move, stop, shoot. But you need to do all 3 of these steps really fast in just one motion. Basically like this. Pa. Pa. So you can use pistols 2 ways. You can use them with rapid fire. Basically, you're trying to shoot as many bullets as possible. If the enemy is on a close distance, you want to try to hit his head with rapid fire as much as possible. If you are on a mid-range or long-range distance, you want to try to one-tap their head as much as possible and perform the aiming techniques that I've taught you. It's always more beneficial to shoot 1 bullet at a time, so perform kinda a taps with pistols. So 1 bullet at a time instead of rapid firing your enemies. But if you are in a really close situation where 5 enemies are attacking you, you can try to perform some kind of a rapid fire, semi-automatic fire. It doesn't matter. They're extremely precise when you're moving at shooting. Basically, every single pistol is much more precise with burst firing and full-on semi-automatic fire when you're running and gunning compared to the rifles. Rifles are really inaccurate when you run and gun. We already covered that the classic pistol has rate of fire 6.75. It has 3-round burst with very increased spread, and the fire rate of the burst fire is 2.22. So basically you can fire 2.22 rounds per second. Classic Sidearm is really bad in this game. Basically, right now, how the economy works, I think it's more beneficial for the first round to buy something else and never stick with this classic Sidearm. It's really bad, the damage is really low, so the body shot, you deal 26 damage if you are on a 0 to 30 meters. If you are 30 to 50 meters, you deal 22 body shot damage. Headshot is a bit higher at 78 and 66, and leg shots are only 22 and 18. This pistol is extremely bad in almost every single situation, except when you are, of course, going full save round. So if you're saving your money, if you're not buying anything, you are forced to use this pistol. It has really easy spray control, I mean semi-automatic fire control, if we can call that spray control, whatever. It's really easy to shoot, but it deals really low amount of damage, like almost no damage. Next gun is Shorty. This is not a pistol, this is a basically 2-barrel shotgun, which deals enormous amount of damage at a close range, but the spread of this gun is enormous. Like sometimes it will instantly kill the enemy, sometimes you think you're going to kill the enemy, but actually the bullets disappear. You're shooting plastic bullets at enemies, BB guns. Like sometimes you will deal 276 damage with 2 shots, sometimes you will deal like nothing. So you really need to be at point blank to kill enemies with this gun. It's really random, it's inaccurate, it has high damage when you are on a really short distance. For an example, if you know that you are going to hold a really close angle at that round. So for an example, you're holding this angle. In that case, maybe consider to buy the Shorty. It's only 200 credits, it will not hurt your economy. Maybe you pick 1 kill, maybe you pick 2 kills, maybe you pick a gun from the enemy. Buy it in that situation. But if you know that you're going to be on site or playing some kind of angle like this or like this, just never buy it. It's better to use the classic Sidearm than Shorty. One more thing to note is that both of these guns have low wall penetration. That means that these guns can penetrate concrete, they can penetrate wood, but they are unable to penetrate metal. So the bullets from this pistol and Shorty will never go through metal, but they will go through concrete and deal slight amount of damage. I explained how the wall penetration works in one of my previous videos. And through wood, it should actually deal some damage, but don't expect some high amounts. Like, you will still need like 3 or 4 headshots to kill them through these materials. So these two sidearms you use only in a specific situations. Shorty only when you are playing the close range and when you are doing some kind of a half buy round or full save round. And sidearm you use only in the first round. If you love playing it, or if you need to buy some kind of abilities, you can buy the armor, you can buy the you actually get for free the classic rifle, and you can buy the abilities if you need them. Or if you're going full on save round, you keep on the classic and pray to God that you are going to kill somebody. Third pistol in this game is called Frenzy. Basically, it's a CZ from Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It's a full automatic pistol. Basically, you fire 10 rounds per second, which means you can fire 10 bullets in 1 second and try to kill the enemies. Damage of Frenzy is slightly lower than the classic sidearm, but there is one really important factor. It's that this gun is fully automatic, my friends. So that means that you can easily spray down the enemies with this gun, which is not possible with classic sidearm. Yes, you can fire 3 bullets at the same time, but basically this sidearm will do nothing compared to Frenzy. Frenzy is actually able to kill maybe 3 or 2 enemies with 1 clip, but you need to be really precise and hit them. This gun is extremely useful in the first round. So in the first round, what I recommend you as your first buying option is to buy Frenzy and buy the armor if you know that you're going to play some kind of a mid-range or close range. Close range and mid-range, Frenzy is extremely useful and extremely good. So at a distance of 20 meters, Frenzy can be extremely useful if you can actually spray control this weapon. At 30, 50, or even longer, like the gun is almost unusable because the spray pattern and the bullet trajectory is totally random, as you can see, and it's extremely hard to hit the enemy's head or even enemy's body. But at 20 meters, it's easy. It's kinda easy. At 10 meters, you can destroy the enemies with this gun. At 5 meters, they are certainly dead. So Frenzy, you use at the close range and mid-range. As I've already covered with every single pistol that you play in this game, you want to be strafe shooting, you want to be tapping, and doing some kind of semi-automatic fire if you're confident enough that you can hit those shots. So this is basically example how you should be shooting with Frenzy. You should be burst firing around 3 bullets and resetting your recoil after 3 bullets. So 3 bullets, reset, 3 bullets, reset, 3 bullets, reset. And try to hit enemy's head or enemy's body. With Sidearm, with classic Sidearm, you want to tap them at mid-range, at long range, and at a close range you can try to use the burst fire, or you can go full on automatic, actually semi-automatic, and try to hit their head. With Shorty, you're playing the close range and you're trying to surprise your enemies with a kill, but I don't know, like Shorty is really random. You really need to be at the point blank of your target to actually destroy him. So at the first round, I recommend you to buy Frenzy and Armor as your first buying option. And also Frenzy is extremely good at close range and mid-range distances. 0 to 20 meters is what you should be aiming for. So this is 20 meters, this is 10 meters, this is 5 meters. This, no. This is a no. It's really hard to kill an enemy. It's even hard to hit the enemy. So you basically, at distances that are higher than 20 meters, you need to tap shoot at all times. Tap shoot, tap shoot, tap shoot. Strafe, tap shoot, strafe, tap shoot, strafe, tap shoot. Second buying option that you have at the first round, and the option that I recommend you the most, is to buy the Ghost and buy some abilities. For an example, you are playing Cypher, you can buy the Trapwire, Cyber Cage, you have Spy Cam, and that's the perfect first buy round for almost 90% of agents in Valorant. Ghost is extremely accurate weapon at long and short range distances, and you should always be using Ghost as a one-tap machine. So basically, it works the same way as a USP in CSGO, and you can one-kill headshot the enemies at distance of 30 meters. So if the enemy is at this distance and it doesn't have armor in the first round, he is certainly going to die. If he has armor, at the other hand, small armor, you need to perform 2 headshots. Ghost is extremely good at long range and medium range. At close range, he has the same rate fire as the classic Sidearm. So basically you use him the same way as you use the classic Sidearm at the close range. You're just trying to kill the enemies with semi-automatic fire and try to crouch, try to strafe, perform as many movements as you can, but while keeping your shots accurate. So you should be strafing left and right, trying to hit the enemy head, enemy body. Try to crouch a bit because you will reduce your recoil extremely with pistols if you are going to crouch. And try to kill your enemies this way at a close distance. At any of these distances, you should always one-tap enemies and try to go for the headshots. Ghost plus abilities is extremely good first round buy. Basically, in 90% of situations, you want to buy Ghost and you want to buy some of your abilities. It's gonna be extremely useful for your team and for you also, because you will have a deadly machine in your hands which deals 105 damage to head with one shot at 30 meters range. So if enemy doesn't have armor at the first round, you can one tap them all. So basically 5 kills, 5 headshots. I just want to mention that Frenzy also has the low wall penetration, same as Shorty and classic Sidearm, but the Ghost actually has medium wall penetration. That means that the bullets can go through wood, as you can see here. This means that bullets can penetrate this surface. The bullets can also go through concrete, and they can also go through metal. But through metal they deal the lowest amount of damage. And one more benefit of Ghost over other sidearms is that it actually has 15 magazine capacity. So you have 15 bullets to stop enemy push or to push the sight with this pistol. So it's extremely useful and the number one choice that you want to have in the first buy round or first round of the match, whatever. And the last pistol is called Sheriff. Basically it's a deagle from CSGO. It's a semi-automatic pistol with fire rate of 4 rounds, so you can fire 4 bullets in 1 second. It has extreme amounts of damage. Basically the body shot deals 55 damage at 30 meters, 160 headshot and 47 at legs. The damage falls off a bit between 30 to 50 meters, but nothing too drastic. Basically at 30 meters you can always one-shot the enemies at the head if they don't have armor and if they have light armor. If they have heavy armor, you need 2 shots. So you want to perform headshot and try to hit their body. That's how you shoot with Sheriff at 30 meters and higher. So you want to try to go for the headshot and then try to hit the body. At closer distances, you can feel free to spam this weapon. Basically, if you hit the enemy 2 times at body and they don't have armor, they are instantly dead. If you hit enemy at head, they are instantly dead. So you want to try to go for their neck or their abdominal part of the body when you're at the close range. If you're feeling confident, you can go for the headshot. If you're not feeling confident, you can try to spam shoot them 2 times at the body at a close distance. At the long range, you always want to one-tap headshot enemies at around the neck area. So you want to aim at neck area and try to hit the headshot. If you miss, don't worry, because 2 body shots will deal with this target easily if he doesn't have armor. If he has armor, you need 3 body shots at 20 meters and so on. So Sheriff is an extremely deadly pistol, but should you be using Sheriff at the first round? Sheriff is really good at when you're trying to force buy. So when you've lost like 2 or 3 rounds in a row and you wanna force, you have some money left over, you can use Sheriff in those rounds because it's really deadly against enemies that have even full heavy armor. And you can use Sheriff when you want to half buy as well. And in the first round, you can use it as a third option. So the first option in first round is basically Ghost and abilities. The second option is Light Shield and Frenzy. And third option, it can be Sheriff, but bear in mind that maybe it's gonna be more useful if you have Ghost and abilities or Frenzy and light armor than Sheriff. Sheriff is really for those cocky players that are really confident in their aim, and you have opportunity to kill anybody with 2 shots at the body. If they don't have armor, of course. If they have light armor, you will need 3 shots. So go for the Ghost or go for the Frenzy and armor. Sheriff, you bite basically at those rounds when you're forcing or when you are trying to go half buy, or maybe you're going full eco and you just want to have pistol, because this gun has a really high damage. It can compete with Guardian, with Phantom and Vandal really easy. So in those rounds, consider buying Sheriff. In other rounds, at the first round and when you have money for some other guns, stick with the other guns. Also, Sheriff has the lowest magazine capacity if we don't count this really weird gun called Shorty. It has 6 bullets, so you need to be really careful when you're shooting with Sheriff. You never wanna just try randomly spray the gun. It's extremely inaccurate. You always wanna try to go for those steady shots. You shoot with Sheriff, then you wanna wait for your aim to reset, then you shoot again. Shoot, reset, strafe left and right. Try to reset your aim at all times. Never perform this. This is really bad with Sheriff. Really bad. You never wanna spray like that with Sheriff. You always wanna go for those 1-digs, or you wanna go for body shots, etc. In other games, sidearms kind of feel useless, and I would never use them except when I don't have money, when I'm forcing, or in the first round. But in this game, Actually, every single sidearm has its function. Like, we don't have like 10 pistols and 5 of them are useless and 5 of them are like extremely useful. All 5 sidearms are extremely balanced, like they have their purposes. So that covers the basically all the pistols in this game. Like, you use them as you use the rifles. I explained that in my aiming guide. Basically, you always want to be strafing, you always want to be moving, you always want to be ducking when you for example, if you're spraying with frenzy, you can reset the aim of frenzy if you duck, if you crouch. So your spray control is kind of lower. The vertical recoil is being lowered because you crouched. And you can also trick enemies with crouching. You always want to be one-tapping with other sidearms, like at mid and long ranges. If you're at mid or long range, always go for those one-taps. Never do this. Never do this. This is bad. This is bad. Always try to go for headshots and body shots if you're at a mid at long range distance. But if you're at a close distance, you can go for those kind of semi-automatic fire and try to kill the enemies as fast as possible. And Shorty has its own mechanic, as I already told you. Like, it's really random. Like, for example, sometimes this will one hit the target, and sometimes I will need 2 shots to kill the target. It's really random. Like, there are no rules with Shorty. My personally favorite pistol out of all of these is Ghost, because it reminds me of USP from CSGO, and I'm most accurate with it, of course. Like, I really love this pistol. So I should always recommend you to buy this pistol in the first round, and in other rounds try to buy Frenzy or Sheriff depending on the situation, maybe even Shorty if you are gonna play that close range. So that covers up, I think, all the mechanics and everything that you need to know about pistols, how you practice pistols. With pistols, you really wanna perform those flick shots and trying to snap at targets. Like, snapping at targets is the most important with pistols. So snap and flick, flick and snap, flick and snap, strafe, snap, strafe, snap, strafe, snap. So you need to be moving and flick shotting. This is how you practice pistols the best. And that's how you practice the pistols in this game. It's really easy. It's same as the guns, but you don't have really automatic weapon. You're not going to spray with pistol. You're going to one tap, you're going to track enemies, and you are going to flick them and try to snap at their heads. We've reached the end of this pistol tutorial. In some of my future videos I will do in-depth guide of Valorant's economy, and there I will cover when and what pistol exactly should you buy. But the best thing that you can do right now is what? Hit that subscribe, turn on those goddamn notifications, and spank that bell icon so you don't miss any new content from me, myself, Charlatano. Leave a like on this video, and if you would like to see me cover some other guide or tutorial about Valorant, feel free to leave a comment down below. What do you want to see from this gentleman? I'm your free coach, but as a payment this time, I'd like you to share this video and spread the word about this channel with everyone you know. In the description down below you have other social media where you can follow me for some future live streams and announcements. I'm going to start very soon to stream every single day, so just stay calm, be prepared for some epic content. And you can also join my official Discord server. I want to keep in touch with all of you, my dear friends. I'm yours, one and only, Warden of the Valorant community. Thank you for watching, and cut!